New year, new sets, same podcast.
It's news to me. Happy New Year and welcome to It's News to Me, where the it is IT and the me is whoever it needs to be. I'm Noah Parker.
I'm Michael Trotter-Lawson.
And I'm Tyler Rasnick.
Welcome to 2024. Today, we're here. We've made it. We've all made it to the new year. No one lost any limbs that I'm aware of.
Not yet.
So go team.
Yep. It's a new year, which means it's time for a new hypothetical question.
Oh, we only get one of those per year now?
It's no.
Is that the new standard?
No.
Oh.
Everybody gets one.
All right. So, going back to the roots a little bit here. $1 million, but every time you send a text, and now I gotta clarify, when I say text, this is gonna extend to like Discord and Teams,
Any
and
direct
like
message.
An SMS.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What about an SOS?
No.
What about MMS?
Every time you send a text or similar message, there is a 1 in 100 chance that it will be sent to everyone on the planet, along with your name.
I get it. So hold on. So I get $1 million.
Yeah, you get $1 million on the condition that every time you send a text, there is a 1 in 100 chance, a 1% chance, that text goes to everybody.
That's a no-brainer.
Really?
I don't text that many people, so like the worst possible thing that I could say to the entire world is, "Hey, I'm pooping. I'll be upstairs in a few minutes."
Yeah,
or that gif of Elmo on the potty where he's like swinging his arms back and forth.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, like, would this bite me? I don't think so. Because like, so 1 in 1, because I send probably 100 text messages a week. Probably, I do text a lot with my buddies. But like, again, everything we talk about is really stupid, and there'd be no context.
Yeah.
So even if people like in the planet and got my name, like, so what would the format be? Would it say what I said, and then it would say my name?
Just like Tyler. It just says Tyler, like any Tyler.
No, it's like all of a sudden everyone in the world would magically have your contact in their phone.
I'm just saying, I feel like you could
So
really...
like Tyler Rasnick, along with whatever message, GIF, whatever it was.
You can use this. You have so much power with this. You said 1 in 100 chance?
Yeah, 1%.
You just like find something that clever and you just send that text 100 times. You're going to be viral real soon with something. Whether it's a video
But you already
or
have $1 million.
Well, yeah.
Yes, but the thing is, you got to think, this is not just like, it's not just going to happen the one time, and you can't control it. So like,
yeah, that's fine.
There's a good chance that you could go. I mean, you're almost certainly going to become famous as the guy,
The text guy.
that just randomly texts.
You're like
everybody.
I'm gonna like send 100 texts to say, "What's up, dog?"
So you're like Tom on MySpace when like you're the default, or like the U2 album that was on everybody's iPhone.
Yeah.
You're the new.
But
the
you got to
contact.
remember that everybody hated that U2 album.
They did, but what if
because
the U2,
nobody wanted
But
it.
what if instead of like opening up your phone and having to listen to U2, you could open up your phone and get like a pleasant like, "I hope your morning's going well, Tyler Rasnick." Text message.
Yeah, but
that's what I
here's
would.
the thing.
You'd be like the new Cha Cha.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: you can't control it. Like,
Ask Jeeves.
But I'm just saying, I don't
just-
send anything offensive, really.
Well,
Mine
but
are all
like-
But here's
really,
the thing, Mike,
really
you
well.
can't control it. But once you send that one that goes to everybody, everyone can then text you. So you are now friends with the entire world.
well, yeah, but I don't look. There's another version of this where it like, where it like only goes to like your ex or exes or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's more compelling.
But the thing is,
But we're not
it
in
is
it.
still going to your exes.
Yeah, but not
It goes
just-
to everybody. And at least with the early message, they don't get the context that it's also going to all the other people in the world.
I'm just gonna send out 100 texts that say, "Hey, can you send me $1 on Apple Pay?" Odds are I'll be rich by the end of the day.
You're gonna get back a whole lot of like, who dis?
Yeah, but I'll also probably get a lot of dollars.
You probably.
Yeah, I don't know. You see, for me, it's going to become a situation where I get so increasingly paranoid as like the months go on.
Yeah, but like, what possible thing could you send that would ruin your life if you send a text?
Look, we work in the IT industry.
Yeah.
There is a non-zero chance that I might have to communicate some kind of, security related thing, and if that goes out to everyone.
Well, yeah, but if you're compromised to the point where you know that there's a chance that this security-related thing could go to the entire world, you probably wouldn't send it in a text or an email. You'd probably hand-deliver it. Or let someone else do it. You just pass it off.
If that's the case, and it's going to become known that, like, I'm the guy that has a 1% chance of texting the world, like, that could ruin your life, No one's going to want to get in text conversations with you if, like, you could actually accidentally leak just loads of dirty laundry.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Like, if someone has something that they really need to talk to me about, like, we're probably going to talk in person. I'm not going to text about it.
I think I probably just wouldn't, because, like, I went a long time without a cell phone.
I'd hate texting.
I would just, like, use Discord, like you said, or Facebook Messenger.
But, I mean, those things count in this hypothetical.
Oh, see, I thought it was just SMS and into this.
No.
So I
was trying to clarify that.
All text-based communications.
Right.
1% chance.
Mm-hmm. Including emails.
What about a burner? Can you get a burner?
No, it's magical. Anything you send.
What about snail mail?
No for snail mail.
A raven? What if you sent a raven?
Imagine if I send the snail to everybody on the planet.
No.
I mean, I guess I would do that.
I'd do it.
I don't care.
I don't know.
$1 million is not a lot of money.
That's part of the other thing. Is like, I mean, it's.
You guys are not. I feel like you're not looking at the big picture here. There's so much potential, and it's like, it's like if you put every single person in a line. Well, there's like 7 billion people.
Something like
that.
Yeah.
And you ask every single person in that line for $1. And I know I've said this already, but I'm just reiterating. Even if only 1/7 of those people give you $1, that's still $1 billion.
I don't think 1/7 of those people are going to give you $1 though.
What kind of vagrant? Like, can I have $1? No, can I have $1? Hey, you have $1? It's like,
but I'm just saying.
You're like, there's so much you can do.
Yeah, I know. Also, here's the thing. That's a very tedious process to go and ask all these people individually. But if you can just, at the minimum, you have to type that, or maximum, you have to type that in text 100 times. And I can do that in 10 minutes.
Maybe
a bit longer.
It would average out to 100.
Yeah.
But also,
but I'm just saying.
There's also a chance that you could send 10 of those messages. I mean, you just become like the spam guy.
You're the spam guy. You're no longer the text guy.
Here's the thing. I have people in my life who also have phones, so I would know which one gets to everybody.
But you're like the techno hobo at this point.
I'm not the technobo.
Yeah, you are. You're literally like, eye patch, can I have $1?
Hey, listen, I'll be that techno hobo if I'm rich. I don't care.
Well, you're already rich. Why do you want $1?
You literally just said $1 million isn't that much.
But you just said you were rich, so it's rich to you.
And no, when I get that money, I'll be rich. I don't care if the world hates me.
It's just, I don't know.
I do care. I don't like when people hate me.
That's the thing.
It'd be worth it.
I would rather be poor and unknown than kind of wealthy and infamous, Yeah,
I don't know. I think it'd be cool if, 100 years down the road, they learn in the history books about Noah Parker, the guy who texted everybody and got rich from it.
If you got a text message from somebody asking for $1, would you go through PayPal, Venmo, or crypto to give them $1?
If it wasn't someone I knew,
Well,
no.
if it just adds them to my contacts and maybe I just thought it was someone I forgot, then yeah. If it's like just Apple Pay, sure, I send them $1. I don't care.
Okay, well, I mean, you're already cutting down the amount of people significantly because really, your pool are,
I can do
Apple users who speak English
And old people.
Yeah.
Old
I'll
people
give
can't
you
use
$1.
Apple Pay.
No, that's what I'm saying. But they would give you $1. They don't know how to give you $1, but they'd give you $1.
Works for me.
They'd like want you to meet up. Like, I can meet you at the Dollar General on Pennsylvania Avenue. And you're like, wait, what? And you're like, in Chicago. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I just, there was one time where my Facebook account got hacked.
I remember that. And you sent
Yeah.
messages to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I then had to go and send messages to everybody again saying that wasn't me.
Well, yeah, but you had
Please
no
ignore
idea
that.
that was going to happen. This is a conscious decision.
Yeah, but you also don't know when it's going to happen until it happens.
Yeah.
And there's no way to. What are you gonna? You can't send another message telling everyone to please ignore the last one because you
that's
can't
fine.
control when it goes out.
What if you remember back in the day, like when people had like Motorola Razors, and you could put a signature at the bottom that was the same every time.
Yes. My
You
dad
remember
still
that?
does that.
Okay, what if you put a signature in all of your text-based communications that says, please disregard the following text message unless you have known me from birth or whatever, and then there's a disclaimer.
Perfect.
How does that work?
Problem solved.
I will say there is one thing that I just thought of that I don't think you all have considered yet. Is what happens if it's an Apple Pay message that gets sent out to everybody?
Yeah, well, I don't use
my
that
bank would
garbage.
probably call me and be like, hey, we think there's a fraud happening because you just spent $10 billion. And we know you don't have $10 billion.
I don't use that garbage, so I'd be fine. I'd be just fine.
No. That's another reason that me personally would not do it.
Also, I'd just be a bunch of green text to like most of the planet. So they would be like, "Oh, who's this green text guy?" Did you realize was that a big deal for you guys in high school? If you were a green text person, were you like shunned?
I always had an iPhone. It's
I
the only
never
smartphone
felt
I've ever
shunned
had.
as a
Green texter.
Android user.
So apparently, growing up now, according to my best friend's child, if you have an Android, you are like considered like a poor, like a green text.
Man,
It's like a derogatory.
that's brutal.
I have heard this. Yeah,
Even though they cost the same.
yeah.
And like most phone plans, it's subsidized where you get it free or whatever. It's just literally a personal choice. But you're a poor if you don't have that.
A poor.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about iMessage that makes it seem special. I don't know.
Well, good episode, fellas.
This has been real fun.
Well, so we have been we've been in a bit of a transitional period with I guess Burk marketing in general.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, Burk marketing.
Transitional.
So we have not usually our podcast topics are sourced from the shorts that we do on the YouTube channel and Instagram and LinkedIn, but we haven't done a short in about a month for a variety of reasons. The holidays, and we've been setting up a new kind of studio space here at Burk,
What?
which is very exciting. We're in the new room now. Same microphone, but we are going to get a new microphone soon. And
It's a loud hum.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, we'll be able to cut that out. But
I'm sure I can just make it go away.
yeah,
That's what I do with most of my problems.
yeah. Here's open. But yeah, we're now sitting at this large, octagonal table here in the, yeah. We have a big old poker table that has gone largely unused, and we're making use of it.
Got a drink cup holder.
Yeah, it's
Area
super
for
nice.
snacks.
Yeah, a little snack zone for Tyler to eat some chips for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of exciting stuff for the future now. We have a whole wall that's a green screen for video content, so we don't have to deal with an actual green screen.
That is, it is. I don't know how much of our audience has ever dealt with the video production to any extent, but trying to deal with wrinkles in like a traditional fabric green screen is just a colossal pain. Like, to the point where I feel like we might have been better off just shooting against just any plain colored wall.
Yeah.
With how much time it took us. But we just recently put out our first short filmed in this new studio space. And yeah, we're just, I don't know, we have a lot of very exciting stuff planned for the year. We're really revamping our marketing strategy, and this podcast is a part of that, technically.
It's also just a lot of fun.
It's fun.
But yeah.
I think It's News to Me is, I think the favorite, or my favorite bit of like recurring content that we have made here at Burk.
Yeah, I could agree.
I think it's the most genuinely entertaining stuff we've managed to put out.
Yeah, and it's super nice that we can actually just like be ourselves on the podcast compared to all the scripted stuff
A character,
that we did.
basically, you're trying to be.
Yeah, I think we've talked a bit about the end of News.exe before on this podcast, but I think that was one of the biggest issues with News.exe is the fact that there was no space for like Noah and I to actually interact.
Yeah.
As as people, as friends.
Yeah, all the funniest moments of News.exe were like
the bloopers
off camera or like the bloopers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always looked forward to the blooper reel. You guys did that like twice, right, or just once?
I think we only did it once.
I think we only did it the one. There was one. There was a middle bit that was
the unnecessary censorship,
which I think included some
I think so.
blooper content as well.
That was like shorts too, right, or no?
No.
I don't think so.
Wait, are the internal shorts bloopers that we've only seen internally? Like we
I think so.
released-
Yeah. Well, I don't think the shorts bloopers aren't quite as entertaining because I think most of the time it's just people like quietly cursing,
Which
because
is
normally
funny.
they're the only person in the room. So
Yeah.
We definitely have enough footage to do another bloopers reel if we wanted to.
yeah.
Follies, Burke Follies.
But I think the funniest part of the News.exe bloopers were the fact that, like, Noah would screw up or I would screw up and the other would, start cracking up because, it's hard not to crack up in those situations.
It's like the Christmas song was funny for no reason other than like we just kept messing up.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah,
we
we
did
could
that
make
first
a
try.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. It was the last year's Christmas song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year's.
Yeah.
The 2023.
Yeah, we didn't actually release it because we kept messing up. Remember?
No, we
No,
did.
2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Oh,
2022.
yeah, that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It never came out.
There are so many
definitely.
bloopers that it was all bloopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours of bloopers.
But this last one we just did went off without a hitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah, our 2022 Christmas song for It's News to Me was not good.
No, because
Yeah.
we had the song first. We didn't have a podcast.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Yeah, we had the idea for the podcast, but we were like, but we need to start with a song.
Yeah, but
So,
that was
yeah.
backwards.
So
we
that-
should have done it the other
Put the
way
cart
around.
before the horse on that one, and that's on us.
Yeah,
That's our fault.
that's my bad. But we got it straightened out. If you
This year-
haven't listened to it, go check out at least the very end of our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
I think it was a delight. I edited the song and I
You didn't even need to edit it. It was all one
Yeah, it
continuous.
took you 5 minutes to edit that?
Yeah, basically
I
just
just-
making sure the levels were right.
Yeah, I had to set the levels, fix the mastering.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much it. We even had like a live band record along with us in one take.
Yeah, it was really a cool,
Graham was
quite
playing
a cool
guitar.
experience.
The cool guitar breaks between 5 core values. That was Bram.
Yeah,
Live in studio. Quite a success.
yeah. We did credit someone else for the song in the episode for
That was
legal
all.
reasons.
That's all formality. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all.
Yeah.
But check it out. It's the 3 wise guys and their Christmas dreams or whatever.
Yeah.
It's us. We're the 3 wise guys.
Mm-hmm. We should upload that to like Spotify.
We should like a single.
Yeah.
An LP.
Yeah.
Put out like vinyls of just that
Just
song.
that song.
Did you 3D print a vinyl?
No, we talked about this. I
The
don't.
detail's not really there yet in 3D printers.
Yeah.
People have done like very like basic versions of it. But
I think if you wanted to make like a much larger one, then maybe
Like with a giant,
yeah.
like this needle that you can't see me because this is an audio only for the time being, but like this giant conic, like the size of your body, maybe,
yeah,
and it comes down
that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
I think it
Goes
can handle
through-
that level of detail.
through speakers the size of this building.
Could you do that? Like, in all reality, if you just like took all the components of like a record player and a record and scaled it up, could you make that a thing?
Your biggest problem there is that you would also have to spin absurdly fast.
Otherwise, it'd be super low.
Right.
And that's a lot of material to move. But like,
Yeah.
what if it was even just like 5 times the size of a normal record?
That's theoretically possible.
It's theoretically possible.
I just
It
think
would still have to spin very quick.
it'd be cool to see the
Um,
detail in the record up
Agreed.
closer. Like
It
blown
would.
up. Records are fascinating to me. It's like, how do they put a song in that? That's wild.
It's crazy. I think about that quite often.
So you would need to get pretty detailed, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying if they can do, that level of detail that small,
Right.
blowing it up shouldn't be a problem.
No, in fact,
Right?
you think the more detail you'd be able to get, the larger that it
Well, that's what I'm
gets,
thinking.
right? Or no?
I mean, yeah.
I would think it's like resolution.
I think it's just kind of the logistics of, scaling everything to still work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the machine and the record probably wouldn't be the problem at all. It's like everything else.
Yeah. So, be on the lookout for the
World's largest
5X LP of the 12 Days of Burkness.
12 days of Christmas.
Oh, gosh.
Did you guys see where they're handing out payments in the Apple lawsuit about the planned obsolescence?
No.
Apparently, it's $92 per claim. So it's actually like a significant amount of money because most of these are usually like $5. Like I remember one time I had
Yeah.
this. It was the Xbox Red Ring lawsuit.
Oh, man. What a throwback.
Did you guys ever get any money from that? Did you have an Xbox that Red
No.
Ring?
but I
I
did
never had an
have-
Xbox at Red Ring.
I did have an Xbox, the Red Ring, but I did not get it.
So I filed a claim like very soon into the process, and I think I
Wait.
ended up with like $30.
Did you ever do that thing where, like, people were like, oh, if you have a Red Ring, just, like, throw a towel over
Yeah.
your Xbox.
And it
like,
works.
Yeah, and you just, like, make it really hot, and then it just, like, solves the problem.
It does work.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the idea with the original Red Ring problem was the GPU itself was like if you look at a processor and a die, there's thermal paste, and the thermal paste and I guess the piece that fuses it to the main board would get so hot because the cooling wasn't proper in those original crappy Xboxes.
Yeah.
Especially if you had your Xbox sit vertically.
Mhm.
If you had it laid flat, it wasn't as big of a deal. But if vertically, gravity, it would slide off of the die, and when it slid off the die, obviously it's not making contact anymore in the GPU, it's wet red rings.
Mhm.
So the towel trick, basically you shut off all of the avenues where it's actually cool. It gets incredibly hot on the inside. Hot enough to melt that back into place, and you would like put it the other way that you would sit it normally, and it would slide back into place. You could also put it in the oven. Some people were doing
Oh my
that.
God.
It wasn't safe in any fashion.
Realistically, all you needed to do is take it apart, use a soldering iron to heat that up, and then slide it back over. Most people didn't
Yeah, but
understand
that's a
that.
lot.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, and that's
a
not
lot of
what
like 13-year-olds.
that's not what Google told you to do.
It's not at all.
You know?
But yeah, that happened to me, and that was before I was really. It was right at the cusp of me being tech savvy at all.
Mm.
So like that red ring, that I was just like, I did try a bunch of stuff, but I didn't try taking it apart yet because I was a little afraid to do that.
Man, and I fixed many game discs with toothpaste.
Oh yeah,
that stuff works.
I remember trying that.
Do you remember the thing that like GameStop used to sell that was basically
like
it's a paste?
Cleaner.
Yeah, and it was like this thing you pressed that spun it. And and then
I
there
don't
was
remember.
I think it was couldn't you get discs cleaned?
Yeah,
with G2K?
we had a machine that did it. And
I did that a few times.
It kind of worked. It just depended how deep that scratch was.
Yeah, for my like worse off games, I would take them and get them cleaned, and that was awesome.
What a weird problem like a generation had to deal with that other people probably will never know.
Right?
It's weird because like now, like there are still game discs, but they don't really have games anymore.
It's just a
key.
license.
It's basically a key.
Yeah, it's just like which I don't know. It's kind of sad. I miss the days of being able to go buy a game, get really excited on the drive home,
and play it when you get
pop
home,
it in, and be able to play it.
Right? Oh my god!
I think we just miss being a kid.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, but
see, it's weird because like now you can get any game at your fingertips.
Yeah.
But you have to wait for it to install no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a trade-off, you know, of like being
That's
a
true.
kid where you got to wait for someone to take you to GameStop or whatever.
And you pop it in, and you're immediately transported.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
world, which is cool.
And I do like there is still something about the like physical ownership of a game.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember I was really, really excited for the first Watch Dogs, and like I pre-ordered that game, got like not like the ultimate edition with like the statue or anything like that, but I got like a special edition that came with like a poster and whatnot. And I don't know, there's just something.
Well, yeah, because
something
like
about those times.
stuff like that now, like when games come out with a deluxe edition or gold edition or whatever, like you just get extra content for the game,
Most of the time,
which is what you got before. Usually, they would like come with like a season pass or whatever, but you also got like something tangible, you know.
I do think there are still a lot of things that come with like the statuettes and things like that.
Yeah, but
usually those are
not,
like those are a lot of money usually.
They are usually very
$150
expensive.
or something.
well, and you know, most people only get those like if they're either like a diehard fan or super excited about the game,
Yeah.
and if they're on console.
Right. Yeah.
Like I remember which Fallout was it that came with the Pip-Boy? Was it 4?
I think it was 4.
It was like a fully functional like.
Maybe it was
I
4.
think it was 4.
And then there was one of the I think it was Modern Warfare 2 because I worked at G2K at the time. It came with the full night vision headset that legit worked.
That's cool.
I mean, it was crappy night vision, but it did work, and it was like $200 for that. And I was like, the thing is, like, I looked up how much a night vision headset, like the cheapest one I could find was like $400. So I was like,
Wow, man.
I'd get this just for the headset.
Yeah,
if I
what a
wanted night
bargain.
vision, I just need to buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I do miss like the anticipation of a game coming out and then going to the midnight release.
Yeah, the
sucks.
last midnight release I went to was for Smash Bros. Ultimate, which was, I mean, that was very fun though.
I don't know if I ever went to a midnight release of a game.
Man,
I'm trying to think of what game I would have done that for.
Well, the games like that I did, like Halo 3 was, I don't know, you guys are a little younger, but like I was in 7th grade, 8th grade. It was like the thing. Like if you were a guy and you were into video games at all, you all played Halo 3. We like settled differences between two high schools.
we were more into Reach. That was
We did play a lot of Halo Reach.
So I liked Reach too. I think I was a senior when Reach came out, maybe.
Reach was fun.
Reach was good, but Halo 3, like that was also, it was like the finish of the campaign. So
yeah,
the whole finish the fight, like advertising, and then Gears of War, the advertising around that was a pretty big deal. But Halo, the midnight release for that was wild.
See, I don't know. I just like. I feel like any game that I got that excited about, I would just pre-order it, and then get it like the day it came out.
Well, you pre-order
like,
for the midnight release too, but you get it when it comes out. You go home and play it. You're the first person to like play it.
I might have bought some stuff on like. If there were any games that came out on like Black Friday, like midnight, I probably would have done that a couple times. But I don't know. See, I didn't have my own Xbox till like I bought one myself when I was like 13 or 14.
I'm trying to think. When I worked at G2K, I don't even think we did midnight releases. Like it had already kind of sort of started to go the way of digital only. I want to say we stopped doing them when I worked there. And there were a few games that came out. Like Halo 4 probably would have had a midnight release, even though it wasn't really that good.
Yeah, Halo 4
Man.
kind of
The
sucked.
Call of Duty's always had midnight releases, and people were
Yeah.
always stoked to go play them.
So anyways, why is... Sorry, I'm going to completely jump ship on video games for a second. Why is Apple paying people?
Because they were sued by the EU, UK. It was in the UK. It was a lawsuit that they intentionally put pieces of in their updates or their software updates to slow or throttle phones to force you to buy the newer model.
What are the requirements to get in on the lawsuit?
I think you just had to have bought an iPhone from period to whatever time the lawsuit until whenever.
But I imagine you probably also have to be in Europe, right?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's probably a UK thing.
Let's see. Told the BBC he was pleased to hear about payments being made in the U.S., but warned it does not have any bearing on the. Yeah, you can be United States.
Oh, well.
There's separate lawsuits. Okay, so apparently this was the United States lawsuit, the payment that I mentioned. But in the UK, Apple lost a bid to block a similar mass action lawsuit. So they have a similar case in the UK that we'll go through too.
Cool.
Man, I have something really compelling in retrospect about all of these news stories and cases that kind of relate back to right to repair.
Mm-hmm.
I think mostly just because it was our very first story on news.exe. And honestly, one of our best.
Yeah.
One of the best topics we ever came up with, and it was the very first one. It's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
Who's the dude, the YouTuber that was really like Lewis something? He was very like, him and Apple sued him for the videos that he made. Basically, he used to make instructional videos on how to repair your Mac, and Apple would take these videos down. And he assumed it was because they didn't want you to know how to repair your Mac. Mm-hmm. And it ended up being that case that he was correct. I think he won in court. But he's like a right to repair advocate. It's Lewis.
That wasn't that long ago, was it?
Well, that's a while ago. I mean, the Lewis Rossman, I think was his name.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different.
It's this dude. But his whole thing, it was right to repair. And he was just sort of like a small town, like tinker. But like his channel was all about fixing Apple stuff. And when he won that lawsuit, it was a pretty big deal because it allowed other YouTubers to create similar content. But I mean, Apple is not the only person that Nintendo's pretty.
This is far from a problem exclusive to Apple, but Apple has long been one of the kind of bigger offenders.
They're the biggest name,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is it, like 1 in 3 or 1 in 2 people have an iPhone? It's like some stupid statistic.
There was another recent lawsuit that concerns Apple, but it was actually against Android by Epic. Yeah, Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite and the Unreal Engine. They made Gears of War.
Hmm?
Really?
It was Cliff Blazinski's company. Yeah.
Huh? I didn't know that. But anyway, they've won a lawsuit against Android for basically like the. They ruled that they had a monopoly on the Google Play Store. Yeah.
Play Store fees, basically.
Yeah. Which they had settled with Apple in a similar case earlier to this, but the ruling in the Google case is almost certain to affect Apple as well, based off the ruling that they handed down.
Yeah, because Apple I think they take a little more, or is it less than the Play Store off the top for the App Store? It's comparable.
I couldn't tell you, but
I think it's
definitely comparable for sure.
I think it's a little more, but I do think that the reason they do that, from everything I understood, was the App Store is a lot more stringent on what they allow.
Yeah.
And they vet stuff a lot. It's also harder to, like, if you have an app and then you want to update it, you have to give the code to Apple for them to review and all of that ahead of time. Whereas the Play Store, you can just pretty much, it's like YOLO, like, just go out and download it, we don't care. And
I mean, I know we have talked in the past, we've discussed stories about very sketchy Android apps, that have snuck in malware with updates and things like that. I think for the most part, the way Apple does it is probably the right way to do it. We're an IT security company. It's kind of easy to lean towards the side of more, security. But at the same time, I do think that for both of them, there should be an option to sideload third-party apps if you want to take that risk.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the Play Store does have security measures in place. It's just not as stringent. But most of the stuff you see with Android, as far as like tricking someone in, like with malware, is almost 99% sideload. But like you said, you sort of take that, and it tells you on an Android device when you sideload something. It lists off all the different risks. But like, there is a lot of cool stuff you can do with legitimately, sideloaded apps. It's just you do take that risk, and you should vet whatever you're going to sideload to make sure it's from a reputable source. Even like GitHub, there's all kinds of cool stuff on GitHub that still could be sketchy. Honestly, it's not like you're looking through the source code. It's on GitHub, so you assume that there's a bunch of developers working on it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I think ideally we'll end up in a situation where the average person can feel safe downloading the apps that are on the Google Play Store or the iOS Store, but also have the option of getting those like third-party softwares if they really want them, and if they're willing to take that risk.
Yeah, that was my main beef with because I used to have an iPhone. Like, I had the iPhone 3GS came out, and it was very rare at my school. Like, when I was there, if you had it, you were either like really wealthy or you were stupid, because it was AT&T only, and there was no coverage in our area for AT&T. So there was this guy that I knew had one, and he was like always would show me, and it was awesome because like at the time I had a BlackBerry, which was cool, but like you see the iPhone and all the stuff it could do, but he had no cell service ever. So I finally got one with the iPhone 4 when it came to Verizon. I think that was the big deal, and so I got an iPhone 4 and I loved it. It was awesome. I did jailbreak it immediately as soon as there was an exploit, and a jailbroken iPhone is still, to me, like the iPhone 4 jailbroken is the best phone I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, because like all the different functionality that was unlocked, I could tether my phone. I could make hotspots with it, which you couldn't do out of the box with an iPhone 4. There was all kinds of like hidden functionality, widgets that worked, because that wasn't a thing at all like back then.
Yeah.
But being able to do that was really cool, and I understand why they like you're talking about security risks, why they sort of don't like that. But I mean, even like rooting an Android phone, Android's pretty open, but you can do even more with it if you root it. So
sure, yeah.
But as soon as like they really made it hard to jailbreak iPhones, and if you had a jailbroken iPhone, you could not update iOS at all; it would brick it.
Yeah. It
just became more and more difficult to use. That's why I went Android, and it was definitely there was a point in time where Android was horrible. Like the manufacturers all kind of sucked. But Samsung and Motorola and a few of them really, they sort of bridged the gap between what iPhone or what Apple had been able to do with the hardware. Because I remember those cameras were awful. Those like 3-megapixel Android cameras.
Yeah.
I had so many different Android phones during like high school. Just because like we would always like have to like switch phone plans, or somewhere else had a better deal that we could afford. So that's what we did.
I had this guy, the HTC Evo 4G, but there was the what was it called? There was the Droid. I remember the Droid.
Yeah.
It was something. It was
just
Motorola Droid.
Pro.
Yeah.
I know there was a Droid Pro.
I kind of missed that though. Like,
I remember there was one phone. It had a bunch of like back attachments. You don't remember this, where you could like attach like a projector to it? And, like,
that's a Motorola. That's a Motorola.
I loved Motorola. Like my very first cell phone was a Motorola, and it was like Barney purple flip phone. But I loved that thing.
I do. There are days where I do miss my little like blue slide phone.
Keyboards.
Yeah,
man. This phone. This old HTC I used to have, it had like I had a case for it, and when you close the case, it was like just like a grid of dots.
It's the Moto Mod. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yes,
you actually
that's
had
what
like a DSLR camera that you could like put on the back of it, a projector.
That was such an interesting idea. I don't know.
That was like right around the time, because I want to say that Motorola sold their phone division to somebody. But yeah, those were really cool. Those were right around the time where Android started getting really interesting. But the HTC, what was it? I had the HTC Hero is what I had. It had a little trackball. There was an Android phone with a touchscreen and all that, but it also had like the little trackball.
I had the HTC One. Is what it was called. Anyways, it had this case that you could put on it, and it was just like a grid of dots, and you could like see through the dots because they were like holes in the front of the case. It was like a flap that closed over it.
Yeah.
And it like you could like do different like pixel art as like your screensavers and stuff. And you could do like you play like Brick Breaker on it. Like it was so cool.
Man.
See, my problem is like, I don't know. All the phones now are just the same thing.
Yeah, sure.
Like, there's really no appreciable difference between this and then like what you guys have. The only difference is the way the camera looks on the back.
Yeah.
It's really the same boring thing, which is fine because it's very efficient. Everyone buys it. It's pretty much like the perfect form factor for a phone. But I do miss the wacky off-the-wall stuff.
I remember that. I remember you having that.
It was like that.
That phone.
That's really cool.
It was actually really cool. I kind of miss it.
I don't know. I can't complain. My phone does everything I need it to do, and it has like $1,000 camera.
Yeah.
So you know, it's yeah. For this last, we have a commercial running on YouTube now, and it was, we didn't we don't have a deal with Apple or anything like that, but it was entirely filmed on iPhone. Yeah. Just because it was the easiest thing. It's so light and easy to mount, and it was just convenient,
Yeah.
It's the most accessible 4K camera that we have. So
That's true.
The best smartphones of 2010.
2010.
Everybody that I knew had this phone before the Galaxies were a thing. They had this like, I think this is Android, but it's this really crummy version of Android and like a flip out keyboard.
I loved those slide out keyboards.
Those too.
They were great. I had one that was like that forever, and it was just so fun to fidget with too. You could just slide it back and forth, and they would click, 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 click.
The other day I saw an iPhone case that you could attach that had like a tangible keyboard.
Like a Bluetooth keyboard. It's cool.
Yeah, something like that. But it was like small, like that.
Did you ever see the T-Mobile Sidekick? Did anyone ever have that at your school?
That sounds so
I'm sure
familiar.
someone did.
Because the reason I
know
asked
vaguely what you're talking about.
is it's like it was really almost pre-BlackBerry. Like, because BlackBerry was the first smartphone that I remember seeing, and I had one, and it was cool, and I thought I was the shit because I had a BlackBerry. But really, the iPhone was like way better. When the iPhone came out, all that went away. But the really like popular kids would have the slide-up Sidekick. Which is like, I remember on TV, like Paris Hilton had one, like the Kardashians had one. It was like the phone.
I had like a Motorola Razr, I think it was, at one point.
I never had one, but everyone I knew did.
I'm trying to think of what that one phone was called. It was a Samsung, wasn't it? That one with the sliding keyboard?
Yeah, I think so.
Because there was I had a red one and you had a blue
Was it
one.
this thing?
No.
It wasn't that thing?
No.
It was not a
I think
touch
it's-
screen. It
might have
was
been a bit newer than that. Everyone go look up all the old phones we used to own.
The Motorola Droid X was the coolest phone at the time in 2010. Was it this Windows phone, the Samsung Focus?
No.
I had a friend who had a Windows phone. It was the Samsung Intensity was what I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think you had like the newer version of it, and I had the older version. Man, what a phone.
Oh, man, these phones look so horrible, but like at the time,
They
like
were
the UI
they were
is
peak,
awful. Yeah. It's almost like if you ever go back and try to use like 95 or 98, like Windows 98. Yeah. But at the time, it was like the peak of operating system.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's the one.
Not the only red phone I've owned, surprisingly.
You're a big red phone guy?
I owned a red iPhone at one point. I don't even like red that much. It was just different, I think is why I liked it. Well,
My last iPhone was red.
I remember one time when I had that little red slide phone, we went to like an event at the racetrack, and we were walking to the car, and my dad looks at me, he's like, "Why are you calling me?" And I was like, "I'm not calling you." And he was like, "Yeah, you are," and showed me his phone, and I was calling him. And apparently I'd left my phone just like sitting in the stands, and some guy just thought to call my dad because he assumed that's who a kid would be at the racetrack with.
Oh, that's a good assumption.
And yeah, I mean, it worked out, and I got my phone back.
Well, yeah, there you
So,
go.
you know, some people are nice.
I back when I had that phone, I accidentally left it outside.
Yeah. I bet it still worked.
Nope,
Oh,
it did not.
Man.
It rained and it filled with water, and it did not work.
No rice would save
yeah.
it.
Tragic.
See, the really sad thing was there was this girl at the time that I told you about her before.
Yeah.
It was the one that I knew through my great grandmother, who had like just died.
The girl or your great grandmother?
My great grandmother died.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's been a minute.
Still sorry.
She was like the great granddaughter of my great grandmother's best friend.
Nice.
Classy.
And this was like elementary school, but we were like dating as much as elementary school kids do.
You sat together at lunch.
We didn't go to the same school.
Oh, well, you would have.
Yeah, but we would hang out like after school and whatnot. But by that point, I was in a different middle school system, so the only way I had to contact her was through this phone. And when that phone broke, I didn't have a way to get the number back.
Oh.
So I never talked to her again.
Again? What
Never.
if you guys were like soulmates? Hold on a second. We've got to dig deeper into this.
This is the exact same reaction I had the first time I heard this story. I was like, whoa.
That's incredible. I feel like you've got to like...
I told him he's got to like make one of those like find this person TikTok videos.
Those misconnections.
Yeah,
type
you
things.
know.
What?
Post an ad on
don't even
Crix.
remember, you don't even remember her name?
Not anymore, no.
Would your great-grandmother's obituary have her best friend mentioned at all?
Probably not.
Yeah, can we like? I bet Stephanie could find her.
I know my sister could probably find
Maybe.
out.
I know her name started with an M.
Do you know where your great grandmother used to live?
Yes.
Why not just go over there and like find her?
I mean, she doesn't live there.
Well, but you could find someone. You just gotta start. You gotta go there and yell.
Yeah.
I bet her name didn't start with an M, and I bet it was Emily, and you just remember the M part.
No.
Matilda, Marianne.
Do you think she would have like grown up to be attractive? Because that's the other part of this. I dated some people like when I was like 6, like first grade, right? Where you're dating. And then you grow up and you look them up later because you're like, I wonder what she looks like now. And you look them up and you're like, whoa, oh, geez, okay.
Wah, wah.
You know what's funny is I'm also probably that guy too. Like, someone's like, I dated this boy. What does he look like? I'm like, oh, yikes, jeez.
Not the yikes.
Dodge a bullet with that one.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but I bet those don't have a very successful podcast.
Yeah. There's literally dozens of listeners.
Yeah.
I want to say her name was Michaela, honestly.
We gotta find this lady.
But the thing is, I can't remember her last name at all. So.
Do you remember the state that she lived in?
Tennessee?
It was
I
Tennessee?
think?
Okay. It's not like Boise or something? Like,
That's not a state.
No, I mean, like, you know what I mean.
Okay.
You can read my mind, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We're on the same...
wavelength.
The thing is, I know she went to... I remember she went to Haynesfield, and she would have gone to Vance at least for 6th grade.
All you gotta do is find the yearbook for that year.
Yeah,
that
but...
you know she went there.
But why would I... That's like...
It's not weird at all. In fact...
But for what... How would I get... How would I get these
Lifetime
6th grade...
movie. Oh, they have them uploaded online. I'm not even kidding. Every Lifetime movie starts this way.
He's not wrong.
Well, I mean, it doesn't
No, I
start...
feel like
It's a
every
plot to a
Lifetime...
movie.
I feel like every Lifetime movie starts with the girl
No,
who's like...
it would have started... The movie... Your Lifetime movie would have started with your great-grandmother dying. and you would have seen that girl at the funeral, and it would have been like, you'd have been like, bye, and she would have been like, bye, and then
Fast forward to 2 months later.
Forward,
2
your
months.
phone's in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
It dies. You lose her number. You forgot her name. You're a kid. You can't drive. Cut forward 15 years. Here you are on this podcast talking about this girl. And then the movie starts. The adventure to find her.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be that compelling of a movie.
You know, it may not be, but you know, it would be.
My grandma would watch it.
It'd be a really compelling documentary, though.
True crime.
Like, have you ever seen the original Catfish documentary? You know the TV show, right? Catfish?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Did you ever watch the original documentary?
No.
So the original documentary was about Neve, the guy that hosts it, being catfished. He developed the term in the documentary, and he was like this girl that he was obsessed with. That he was talking to. He was like, I want to meet her. Like, I want to find out. You know,
He came up with the term.
he got catfished. Yes.
Man.
So he goes in the documentary, meets him. It's like some old lady, like in her 50s. I think her name was Angela something, and it was all about, like, it turned into the psychology thing where he was like trying to figure out why she did it.
Yeah.
He wasn't mad at her, but he was just trying to figure out why someone would want to do that. And then that's what sort of turned into the TV show later. But
Man.
it was a really compelling documentary. So I'm just saying, free idea.
I mean, it sounds interesting.
This would be a
honestly.
compelling documentary as well. It's not creepy, not weird at all. There's nothing weird at all about it.
Yeah, it's only creepy if you, like, figure out who she is and then stalk her without actually contacting her.
Correct.
Yeah.
Especially if she's married currently.
Yeah.
Then it would be creepy. Which chances are she's probably not.
I don't know. I feel like there's a significant portion of the people that, like, we went to high school with that are married now. A lot of them have kids.
Some of them have
We're
more than
getting
one
old.
kid. I don't even wear shoes with shoelaces. These people have kids.
I mean, heck, I have a younger stepbrother who has a kid.
I just want to clarify to all of our listeners. I do know how to tie my shoes if they had laces.
I'm just saying, I've never seen him do it, but
I've
I'm
probably
kid-
tied your
I'm
shoes
kidding.
before, if we're being
I'm
honest.
kidding. It's a joke.
Tyler, can you shut up?
I'm trying to track down this lady.
M for mystery. This episode's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It
That's
is.
good.
This is like
one of the better ones.
Wait, we're gonna be back on track, back on topic next week. And, let's go ahead and start getting back on track.
Before we do that, tell your friends about us.
Your friends.
Which ones?
My friends?
No, I'm talking to the people.
You're talking to the people?
I'm talking to the people.
All the people?
Yeah.
Man.
All you people out there?
Hey, all you people.
What would you tell your friends?
Hey, all you
I don't
people.
know.
Let us know. Tell us.
Tell us what you would tell your friends, and then tell them that. And maybe we'll do it too. We'll find your friends.
We'll tell your friends what you need to tell them about us after you tell them what you're going to tell them about us. Let us tell your friends. Send your friends' information, contact, date of birth, social security number to us, and we will let them know what you were going to tell
2
them.
proofs of residency, mother's maiden name,
Blood type.
blood type's good. Photo ID, please.
Estimated yearly income.
Yep, that's a good one.
2022 tax return. 2019 tax return.
The funny little code on the back of your credit card.
Yeah, all the numbers on your credit card are fine. In
Your
order, please.
Serial number of your phone.
VIN number on your car.
Shoe size.
Do we need their shoe size?
Yeah, shoe size.
Okay. Height.
If you could get also
That's not
a
Bank account number.
Oh yeah, that's a good
PIN
one.
number for debit card, bank account number, and also maybe like a mask of your thumbprint
That wouldn't be bad. Yeah.
to have that on record.
Maybe just go ahead and make it the handprint, just in case.
A select DNA sample containing a piece of hair
Yeah.
from your head.
Piece of head hair.
Head hair only.
Okay, we can get back on track now. Just it's good
Yeah.
to encourage people to tell people about us.
Yeah, don't forget to like and share.
Yeah, 'cause
Leave us a review on iTunes as well.
or Spotify. I think
Or
there's like
Spotify.
a 5-star thing.
Yeah, but I listen on
And
iTunes.
if you're like my dad and you listen
Or
on Amazon
on
Music,
Apple Podcasts.
do a review there. Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, Dad.
They only have the 1982 Vance Middle School.
Is that the only one?
Yeah, I don't think that that's going to be of any help. And it's the junior high school. It's not even the middle school yet.
What the heck? What about the elementary school? Haynesfield.
What is it called?
Haynesfield.
Haynesfield. Don't even have that at all.
Nowhere?
Nowhere. Did you have the Sullivan South High School yearbook from 2019?
Do they have any East yearbooks?
The thing is, they might have. If they had Tennessee High, there's a good chance that she went to the Tennessee High.
Oh yeah, try Tennessee High.
Okay,
what year? Same year as you.
They have the Sullivan East from 1997.
I wasn't alive.
The 1923 Tennessee High School yearbook.
I think she's in that one. You said it was the best friend of your great-grandmother, right?
Her great-grandmother. Hold on. Maybe we've tracked down the great-grandmother first.
Well, we don't know their names.
But we can kind of get an idea. There's got to be only like 15 kids probably in 1938, right?
There were still kids in 1938, Tyler.
Just not as many. This was the war.
Oh. This was before the boom.
Yeah.
Pre-boom baby.
This is pre-boom baby. Yeah, they don't have anything here, pal. It's just... I think you can actually go to like classmates.com and you have to sign up for an account. But people do upload yearbooks. And the Abingdon High School yearbook is on there. Because, like, my parents never bought a yearbook. I guess you guys bought yearbooks, right?
Yeah, we did.
Do you have one? Like, from when you were at Vance?
No, I didn't go to Vance.
They didn't go to the same school.
You went to Haynesfield with her, though, right?
No, like I said, we didn't go to the same school.
I missed the entire... I was too busy trying to... Okay.
No, the thing is, I went to Holston Valley Elementary School, which is in Bristol City. But at the time, my dad lived in Kingsport, but he worked in Abingdon. So he would drop me off at school on his way to work.
I see.
And then I would ride the bus back home to my great-grandmother's house because she lived like 5 minutes away from school. So I would stay there until Dad got off work and he would come pick me up. And that, at my great-grandmother's house, is where I would meet.
This could be like the new How I Met Your Mother.
Could be. Realistically, how old are you guys? What's your...
24.
I know a kid that went to Tennessee High that is your age. I worked with him at Shoe Carnival. And I really liked him quite a bit. I could honest to God, I could probably... He's the type that would have the yearbooks, too. I could probably find this out for you. I just don't know if you want me to.
I think we should. Like, I feel like everyone that's listening is invested now, and we got to give.
But I don't want to put Michael on the spot and make him uncomfortable. But I'm being for real. I probably could find out at least who she was. If you want.
I don't know. Because the thing is, I am curious because this has kind of haunted me for my entire young adult life. Huh?
Maxine.
No, I'm pretty sure her name was Michaela. I was telling you about this.
Ben?
He may just know. That'd be funny if he was like, yeah, that's so-and-so. I remember her.
That's Cynthia Clearwater.
Michaela, what are you talking about? Not even close.
He might. I doubt it, though.
He seems like he would know. It's got like a steel trap up.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, have you thought about maybe just reaching out to random people and seeing if they want to talk about their car's extended warranty first?
Right, because that's the way to get people to listen to you.
Maybe, hold on a second. What if you accepted the $1 million and then you just started firing off texts, hoping that they'll put you in contact?
Just send out like your address and all your information and be like, "This is me. Do you remember me?"
Yeah.
And then she'll come find you.
And you still get $1 million.
Yeah, it's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then, who knows who else is going to show. Come on. Thank you for listening to It's News to Me. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see or hear more like it, check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@BurkIT or go to our website at burkitc.com. Our theme music is Big City Lights by Icholix. Come back in 2 weeks to hear more of me, Noah, and Tyler in the next episode of It's News to Me. In the meantime, keep your data secure and your mind sharp.
I'm way back here. This is not a problem. This is my lunch, dude.
You just eat the whole chip.
I'm done. I'm done. I can't do it.
God, that was I went down,
I wasn't gonna say anything, and then Noah just started laughing.
I went downstairs and I was about to go to bed yesterday, and Michaela has like a box of like Ferrero Rocher chocolates.
Yeah.
And she was like trying to go to sleep, and I was like, "Man, I'm gonna eat a couple of these because they look really good." And my God, those are the loudest things to try to open. When it's like, and it's like amplified when it's like, you know, dead quiet in the room.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, I didn't eat dinner last night because of the national championship. I sat there and I was just watching, like, I couldn't eat dinner. I didn't go to bed until like 11:45 or whatever it was. So I went and got a sleeve of Ritz crackers, and my wife was in bed trying to sleep, and I like tiptoe in there with a sleeve of Ritz, and I opened it up, and like I sat down and I grabbed one. It was very similar. I'm like. And Logan turns to me and she's like, "Are you serious right now?" I was like, "I gotta eat something." So then I like ate him like the Cookie Monster to try to
Yeah, it's like do you go really slow and like really draw out the sound, or do you just get it over with?
I just got it over because she was already mad at me. So I knew, wait, the quicker I could ingest these crackers.